Bonjour, shalom, and what's up? And welcome to Geeks Drink Pub Quiz on Twitch. I'll be your host, Chaz. Welcome to the quiz. Hope you're having a good President's Day. How are y'all living out there? How's your day going? If you haven't played with us before, welcome to our Geeks Drink Pub Quiz on Twitch. It works much like we do in the bars. We have 7 rounds. 2 of those will be media rounds, an audio round, and a visual round. The rest of them will be read by me. So if we can get a let's go in the chat, we can boogie on bounce over to round number 1. I see a let's go. Gotta say it in my Hamilton voice. All right, round number 1 is called Not Exactly My President, because, hey, happy President's Day, y'all. Every answer in this round will be the last name of a former U.S. president. So you at least know it won't be 45 or 47. All right, let's get into question number 1. Known for exploding when rear ended, the Pinto was named by Jalopnik as one of the worst cars ever released by what major American automaker? Saving my mega joker for round number 2. I mean, it's one of the best rounds to do it, right? Especially with how much of a crapshoot the final round can be. You never know. Like, if you know the music, you know the music. If you don't, you don't. Mecha Joker. Is that like Mega Godzilla versus Godzilla? Hey, yo, Geeks Who Drink Pub Quiz. That, I mean, that does sound like a legit Dr. Robotnik cosplay. My girlfriend calls me Mega Joker. Y'all funny as heck. Alright, while y'all Mega Jokering and being Dr. Eggman, let's head on over to question number 2. A 1930s model with a built-in headlamp allowed what vacuum cleaner company to show you, as the slogan went, the dirt you never knew you had? Mega Joker, you don't double your score, you add a 0. What the heck? You know what? I'm going to say, you said add a 0, but you didn't say where. So I'm going to say you add a 0 in front of it, not behind it. So even if you got 16 points, you still get 16 points. All right. Exactly, Geeks Who Drink. Exactly. All right, let's head on over to question number 3. Still capitalizing on that Tom Hanks movie a quarter century later, what sporting goods company sells this $22 Castaway volleyball? That's what she said, Sovos. Let me stop. Yeah, whenever I play music rounds, whenever I play pub quiz, um, it's always hit or miss for me. Sometimes I know the song, sometimes I'm like, "Ooh, who did this? How am I supposed to know this?" Anyway, we're in the middle of round number 1 with question number 4. Your round on Not My President, where every answer in this round will be the last name of a former U.S. president. For question number 4, our economy's based on LeBron James, buy a house for the price of a VCR, were the lyrics from an early viral YouTube video that sang the praises of what Ohio city? Alright folks, let's jump into question number 5. With awards that capped at around 7 grand, every year roughly 6 million undergrads are awarded a lead-based Pell what? Oh wait, how did I miss the 69 bits? Like, thank you for the 69 bits, it's very nice. I don't know, I'm supposed to read anything else in that. Valentine's Day was 2 years ago, or 2 years ago, 2 days ago. But I hope y'all had a good time on Valentine's Day. I just went to the arcade, saw a show, got some shawarma and then went home. It was cool. There was also one 2 years ago. There was. What was I doing 2 years ago for Valentine's Day? I don't know. Not much, probably. But maybe this person in question number 6 was doing something, and you might know. So, for question number 6, credited under his real last name, Okonoma. Wait, that makes it sound like Okonoma. In Marty Supreme, Taxi Driving Wally is played by who? The creator. See, I said that in a way that made me think it was like Zach from Dropout's last name, which I'm like, that's not it. Right, I should not say it with that inflection. But I can't tell you what type of inflection I was trying to say it with, because that might sort of give it away. But I mean, y'all should probably know anyway. So. Alrighty, folks, you know what, you love it. It's your penultimate question of round number 1. Question number 7. Though the most famous person to have it was born in 1989, she's got a whole album to remind us the popularity of what girl's name peaked in the mid-90s. Alrighty, folks, and question number 8. This is one of the many webcomics made by Dan Walsh, who simply removes what title character from existing Jim Davis comic strips. Dang. Hey, what's up, Boogeyman? If you're new here, one thing we don't do is put the answers in the chat. If you like to play along, you can put exclamation point score sheet, and you can take that, print it out, or just write them down on your own or put them in a notepad, but you don't get anything from answering it in the chat. But thank you for watching. Alright, that does it for all 8 questions. We're going to do our first of 5. Let's get into your bonus question. The Space Needle, Mount Rainier National Park, and various San Juan Island ferries are all open on President's Day in what state named for the dude it celebrates? Your bonus question one more time. The Space Needle, Mount Rainier National Park, and various San Juan Island ferries are all open on President's Day in what state named for the dude it celebrates? And it looks like we have a bunch of correct answers coming down the pipeline, so you'll have up until I read the answer to question number 7 to submit. So let's get into your answers for Not Exactly My President. So for question number 1, known for exploding when Rare ended, the Pinto was named the Jalopnik as one of the worst cars ever released by Ford. For question number 2, a 1930s model with a built-in headlamp allowed what vacuum cleaner company to show you the slogan, "The dirt you never knew you had"? That would be Hoover. For question number 3, yes, they're still capitalizing on that Tom Hanks movie with a quarter century later. It is Wilson that sells that $22 Castaway volleyball. For question number 4, our economy is based on LeBron James. You can buy a house for the price of a VCR. We're lyrics from an early viral YouTube video that sang the praises of Cleveland, Ohio. For question number 5, with awards capped at about $7,000, roughly 6 million undergrads are awarded a needs-based Pell Grant. For question number 6, credited under his real last name, Okoma, in Marty Supreme, Taxi Driving Wally is played by Tyler, the creator. For question number 7, though the most famous person to have it was born in 1989, she's got a whole album to remind us of the popularity of the girl's name Taylor peaked in the mid-90s. Although Taylor is gender neutral because I know both boys and girls named Taylor. But anyway, I digress. Moving on to question number 8. And this is one of the many webcomics made by Dan Walsh, who simply removes Garfield from existing James Davis comic strips. And finally, your bonus question once again. The Space Needle, Mount Rainier National Park, and various San Juan Island ferries are all open on President's Day in the state of Washington. Alright, folks, we're moving on to round number 3 called Food, Travel, Culture. I'll name a signature food or drink, a tourist attraction, and a work of literature by a native author. You name the country. And excuse me while I butcher all these names because I'm American and I was socialized as such. Sorry. I am a little sorry, though. Alright, for question number 1, your 3 options are Kimbap, Lot World, and Beck Say Hayes. I want to die, but I want to eat tteokbokki. Hey, Sovo's got 11 out of 16. But you don't want 110 points, Sovos? You don't want 110 points? I thought you added 0 with the Mega Zero, like with the Mega Picker, or like you could even have 101 points, right? Right? Like not, seems excessive. I feel you. All right, moving on to question number 2. Your options are Pomfrets, the Magritte Museum, and Hergé's The Adventures of Tintin. Or it's probably more like Hergás. Oh, Tina guesses. Heck yeah. Yeah, no, I like the nod to Happy Black History Month on that round. I see you, geeks. I see you. Anyway, moving on to question number 3. Your options are Arancini, Montebianco, and Giovanni Bocchino's Decameron. Someone's playing Balatro. Oh my god, I haven't thought about Balatro in a long time. Actually, I should download Balatro to my Steam Deck because I've been playing Blueprints on my Steam Deck, and I'm still kind of obsessed with that game. Like, I swear I'm staying up too late these days just playing Blueprints. Like, yes, I've gotten to Room 46, and at this point, yes, I am using walkthroughs for a lot of things because I don't have a lot of time to figure it out myself. Oh, a Switch 2 update for Balatro. Ooh, that'd be cool. All right, moving on to question number 4, round 3. Remember, I'm naming a signature food or drink, a tourist attraction, and a work of literature by a native author. You name the country. Number 4 is the following: Beef Nihari, the walled city of Lahore, and the autobiography I Am Malala. You know, I wasn't there when Malala was there, but I went to a hockey game. Oh gosh, I'm gonna forget the name of the team. It's Seattle team. She was there the other day, and I was like, oh crap, I haven't Malala. You know, y'all know who she is. Anyway, I don't know why can't I remember the name? The Torrent. Yes, the Torrent. I went to a Torrent game. There we go. Came to me. You wouldn't torrent hockey. How would you? No. I mean, no. I don't know. It depends. I wouldn't have to. I live in Minnesota. It's literally everywhere. Especially during winter with the land of 10,000 lakes. It's also the land of 10,000 hockey rinks, right? Right. Minnesotans, let me know. Let me know. Anyway, while we discuss the many lake/hockey rinks of Minnesota, let's head on over to question number 5. Your options are Cheesy Pal de Cuello, Iguazu Falls, and Machado de Assisi's Dom Cosmodo. Yeah, I didn't really get into hockey until I moved to the Pacific Northwest. And I lived in Vancouver for a little bit, and I got into the Canucks, and I went to a Torrent game, and that was super fun. Although I wanted to see more like, wall checks. But I guess the ladies don't be wall checking as much. It's just the nature of the game, I guess. I don't know. Every body of water is a hockey rink or a racetrack. If you're an ice racer, they literally race cars on frozen lakes. What the fuck? Race cars on frozen lakes? How is that safe? It sounds awesome, but I am very concerned. Anyway, while I try to get off of this concern, how about we head on over to question number 6. Your options are Jollof Rice, Zuma and Olumo Rocks, and Chinua Achebe's No Longer at Ease. Right? Tina guesses it couldn't be me either. I'd be like, I hate to be that person, but that sounds like dumb white people shit, right? Sorry. I was like y'all racing cars on ice? What if you fall in? The fast and the frozen. It is racing cars on mostly frozen lakes that's dangerous. Oh, okay, interesting. So, how many feet down does a lake need to be frozen in order to comfortably bear the weight of 2 cars driving across it? That's what I want to know. Well, we'll figure that out. We'll head on to our penultimate question of round number 3. Question number 7. Your options are Hakarl, Volcano House, and Ragnar Johansson's Snowblind. The trick is to be the first car. So who tests it out? A foot is probably fine. Okay. That's actually a lot less than I thought it would be. So. The more you know, freaking ice racing, alright. Well, while we think about the wonders of what will we think of next to do, because we're humans and we'll just do anything, we'll go into question number 8. And your options are Vegemite, Bondi Beach, and the screenplay for Mad Max. Ice racing, we do that in New Mexico. Oh, God. Ay. I have seen maybe 1 or 2 episodes of Ice Road Truckers, and yes, that's why I'm like, who would choose to do that as a recreational activity? I think, what is it? Ice fishing is a weird recreational activity too, but Anyway, that does it for our round 3 food, travel, and culture round. But of course, we have another bonus question. This is in the same format of the round, so just give me the name of the country I'm talking about. Your options are the Quadruple Bypass Burger, the Columbus Lunchbox Museum, and Arsenio Hall's Arsenio, a Memoir. One more time, the Quadruple Bypass Burger, the Columbus Lunchbox Museum, and Arsenio Hall's Arsenio, a Memoir. All right, we'll go into your answers for round number 3, food, travel, and culture. Question number 1. Your options were Kimbap, Lot World, and Baek Sehi's I Want to Die But I Want to Eat Tteokbokki. That would be South Korea. North. Okay, you ain't know. Moving on to question number 2. Bomb Frites, the Magritte Museum, and Helga's The Adventure of Tintin is from Belgium. For question number 3, you have Arancini, Montebianco, and Giovanni Bocchino's The Cameron. That would be Italy. For question number 4, Beef Nikhari, The Walled City of Lahore, and the autobiography I Am Malala. That would be Pakistan. For question number 5, you have Cheesy Piao de Quail, Iguazu Falls, and Machado de Assisi's Dom Cosmero. That would be Brazil. Mark fake name number 1 was South Korea. Like, that was a typo. For question number 6, your options are Jollof Rice, Zuma and Olumo Rocks, and Chinoa Achebe is no longer at ease. That is Nigeria. For question number 7, you have Hakarl, Volcano House, and Ragnar Johansson's Snowblind. That would be Iceland. And lastly, question number 8, Vegemite, Bondi Beach, and the screenplay for Mad Max are all Australia. Alright, and now we're going to begin on bounce back over to our bonus question. One more time. The quadruple bypass burger, the Columbus Lunchbox Museum, and Arsenio Hall's Arsenio, a memoir that is none other than the USA. 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 Round number 4 is called Sponsored by the Finders Keepers Institute. Scottsboro, Alabama's unclaimed baggage center includes a museum of found treasures. Answer these questions on some of the oddities that have shown up there. Alright, for question number 1, the museums of sports memorabilia includes a basketball signed by what Bulls GOAT, who had a private court built on the set of the original Space Jam. In a collaboration with the one who smelt it, dealt it press. I love it. So good. All right, moving on to question number 2. The center's most famous resident is a crusty hoggle puppet from what 1986 Jim Henson film that still reminds us of the Babe. You know the Babe. It's the one with the power. It's the power in the Babe. That's probably too much of a hint. If you know, you know, though. Who do you do? Let me stop. Oh, we need to stop singing the song. All right, moving on to question number 3. Signatures for Caleb, Jared, Nathan, and Matthew Followill appear on a lost drum signed by what Regal used somebody banned? All right, let's move on over to question number 4 of round number 4, sponsored by Finders Keepers. All oddities that have shown up in Alabama's unclaimed beverage center Museum of Found Treasures. All right, question number 4. More travel size than the famous ones in China. The museum has a miniature warrior sculpture made of what brownish orange clay? Alright, folks, let's move on over to question number 5. A lost violin dated to the 1700s was likely made by a protege of what Italian whose instruments sell for millions today? Alright, let's move on over to question number 6. The museum has replicas of the sarcophagus of a mummified hawk and other Egyptian artifacts, while the originals were auctioned by what Sotheby's competitor? Sarcophagus. Okay. I haven't had to say sarcophagus in a very long time. And moving on to your penultimate question of round number 4. Question number 7. Sitting right next to an elaborate menorah, the museum's instrument collection includes what proto-trumpet carved from a ram's horn? And lastly, question number 8 of round number 4. Jumbo-sized trading cards are on display featuring what Mattel couple who have ostensibly been dating since the 1960s? I do unofficially call round number 4 of Geeks Who Drink trivia for real this time, part 1. Pharaoh fetched. Not Pharaoh fetched. Hey yo, hey, you know what? I ain't mad at it. Alright, that does it for your 8 regular round questions. Let's book you on bounce to your bonus. A taxidermied animal stands in for the sheer number of what mother effing reptiles that have been found on mother effing plains? Your bonus question one more time. A taxidermied animal stands in for the sheer number of what mother effing reptiles that have been found on mother effing plains? Alright, looks like we got some correct answers coming down the pipeline, so let's boogie on bounce to your answers for round number 4, sponsored by the Finders Keepers Institute. Number 1, once again, the museum sports memorabilia includes a basketball signed by Michael Jordan. Question number 2, the center's most famous resident is a crusty hoggle puppet from the 1986 Jim Henson film Labyrinth. Question number 3, signatures for Caleb, Jared, Nathan, and Matthew Followill appear on a lost drum signed by the Kings of Leon. Question number 4. More travel-sized than the famous ones in China, the museum has a miniature warrior sculpture made of terracotta. For question number 5, a lost violin dated to the 1700s was likely made by a protege of Stradivari, Antonio Stradivari. For question number 6, the museum has replicas of the sarcophagus of a mummified hawk and other Egyptian artifacts, while the originals were auctioned by Christie's. Moving on to question number 6. We did question number 6. It's question number 7. Sitting right next to an elaborate menorah, the museum's instrument collection includes the proto-trumpet, a shofar. And that was the answer of the day. We give away 1 point on geeksdrink.com. So put your bounce over there so you can, be in on the fun too. And lastly, question number 8, who apparently went on a break from 2004 to 2011. Who knew? The jumbo-sized trading cards were on display featuring Barbie and Ken. When Ken hooked up with the Xerox girl, whoa. Who the Xerox girl? Anyway. Well, while we figure that out, let's head on over to your bonus question one more time. Make your copies. A taxidermied animal stands in for the sheer number of mother effing reptiles found on mother effing plains. That would be snakes, of course. From that seminal Samuel Jackson classic. For this one, name each movie series that gives us these characters holding hands in a big circle and spinning. And don't worry, you can answer in any order. Alright, y'all. Your time starts now. We're back with the answer to round number 5, a ring around the rosebud. You gave us the movie series for each one, and we'll answer them as they were shown. This is, of course, Titanic. This is Wicked. Number 3 is The Corpse Bride. This is, of course, Sonic the Hedgehog. This is Conan the Barbarian. Titanic. course, Big Fish. This is Matilda. And lastly, this is Airplane. Alrighty, folks, that does it for round number 5. So let's head into round number 6. Also worth 16 points. It's called It Takes Two. For each question, I'll list 5 things in a specified group. Only 2 of these things fit the category. Name them both for a point each. All right, for question number 1, films with more than 12 Oscar nominations this year. Frankenstein, K-pop Demon Hunters, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, and Sinners. Said no one. Okay, what? I don't know. I was a teenager when Big Fish came out, if I remember correctly. So, right? And, you know, if you see old school Ewan McGregor and he's not like so uncivilized, like, I don't know, it's probably, and if he's not like dingy, it's not like it's Train Spotting, you know, so it's Big Fish. It's Big Fish. I don't know. It had, was that Missy Peregrine? Was that Missy Peregrine? Or no, never mind. That's not Missy Peregrine. Missy Peregrine is someone else, way younger than that person that was in that video. I digress. Let's head on over to question number 2. For types of shoes, we have blunt slides, McTwists, Mary Janes, slingbacks, and tame dogs. I don't think I've ever heard of like any of these shoes. Like, and one of these just reminds me of a pimp named Slickback, and I'm like, that's not it. That's not it. All right, moving on to question number 3. Netflix shows about real criminals. Inventing Anna, Margot's Got Money Troubles, Ponies, Riot Women, Worst Roommate Ever. If you haven't seen Ponies, all I gotta say is if you like Dropout, there's a Dropout cast member in it. So you should watch it because of that. All right, moving on to Isn't Ponies on Pink? I'm not gonna say anything about that. Moving on to question number 4, round number 6 takes 2. We got some birds for you. We got a booby, a cockchafer, a dick sissel, a lump sucker, and a pig butt. I wonder if pig butt is related to dick butt. Like, are they family members? Are they cousins? Are they just best friends twice removed? I don't know. Cockchafer, I hardly know her. Yeah, I could see like a teacher having that unfortunate last name. They're like, oh yeah, have you talked to Mr. Cockchafer about, redoing the quiz? Lump sucker, I hardly know her. Alright, well, while we're doing even more variations on a classic joke format, let's head on over to question number 5. WNBA champions since 2022. Aces, Sun, Lynx, Liberty, Storm. Alright, let's head over to question number 6, and we're talking about Pokemon types, or Pokemon types, if you're nasty. They are Alien, Bug, Demon, Heart, and Steel. And you know what? You love it. It's time for the penultimate question of round number 6. Question number 7. Novels where people get mind controlled by fungi. All the Light We Cannot See. Dreamcatcher. The Girl with All the Gifts. The Road. 1,000 Splendid Suns. And finally, question number 8. U.S. states where volcanoes are in the process of erupting right now, according to the USGS. Alaska, California, Hawaii, Oregon, and Washington. Okay, I know my fellow West Coasters are going to get mad at me for saying Oregon as Oregon, but I'm sorry, I'm an East Coast person by heart. We add extra syllables in there, okay? So sorry. And that does it for all the regular questions, and we're here with your penultimate bonus question of tonight's quiz. Mongolian barbecue, Russian dressing, and Swiss cheese. Which one actually originated in the country it's named after? One more time. Mongolian barbecue, Russian dressing, and Swiss cheese. Which one actually originated in the country it's named after? Well, like, it's not that they don't say the E in Oregon. It's just like O-R-E, like ore, like, you know, metals, rocks, things that you pick out of the ground, like ore. And then gone is just gun. So it's Oregon, right? Like, but I always thought, like, when I would pronounce it, it'd be Oregon, right? So that's, I understand both pronunciations work if you ask me. But some people, you know, be in their feelings about it. So what can you do? Anyway, let's boogie on. Since we see a lot of correct answers coming down the pipeline, let's boogie on bounce over to question number 1 of round 6 once again. Number 1, films with more than 12 Oscar nominations this year. Of that set, One Battle After Another, and Sinners are your 2. For question number 2 for your types of shoes, those are Mary Jane's and the Slingbacks. The rest of them are skateboarding tricks. For question number 3, yes, Ponies is a show on Peacock. I just didn't want to say that on here, but it has, you know, Vic Mihalis in it. So if you like Very Important People or Vic Mihalis, you should watch it. But I digress. Those 2 shows that do involve real criminals are Inventing Anna and Worst Roommate Ever. For question number 4, it was all about birds. And those birds are a booby and a dick sissel. So just to let you know, cockchafers are insects, lampsuckers are fish, and pit butts are worms. Oh no. All right, moving on to question number 5. WNBA champions since 2022. Those would be the Las Vegas Aces and the New York City Liberty. Moving on to question number 6 for Pokemon types. The only two, one introduced in the first game and one introduced in the second game. That's Bug and Steel. I meant to say Generation 1 and Generation 2, but it escaped me. So, moving on to question number 7. Novels where people get mind controlled by fungi, and it's not The Last of Us. It's Dreamcatcher and The Girl with All the Gifts. And finally, question number 8. U.S. states where volcanoes are in the process of erupting right now, according to the USGS. That would be Alaska and Hawaii. Alrighty, folks, that brings us back to the bonus question of round number 6. Out of Mongolian barbecue, Russian dressing, and Swiss cheese, which one actually originated from the country it's named after? Well, Mongolian barbecue is from Taiwan, and Russian dressing is American, so it's Swiss cheese.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Alrighty, folks, your final round is random knowledge, and a good rule of thumb to follow are that odd number questions are worth 1, but even number questions can be worth 2 through 4 points. So, starting with question number 1, Biasetti and Primula are brands of mocha pot, a stovetop appliance for making what type of beverage? I don't know if I'm up for digging at this hour. Me too. Unless it's digging up treasure in Blueprints. And if you haven't played Blueprints, you don't know what I'm talking about. Don't worry about it. You're fine. I need to stop quoting this stretching person that comes up in my reels every once in a while. He always goes, if you're having, problems in your joints, then you need to do these stretches every day and you'll be fine. Alright, moving on to question number 2 for 2 points, and the order counts. The Wayans brothers parodied Step Up, Fame, and Stomp the Yard in 2009's What Flick? And Marlon says that they're spoofing Longlegs and Get Out in the upcoming 6th film of what franchise? Alright, moving on to question number 3. You can visit this artwork based on the book Make Way for Ducklings in what city's public garden? Let's just say they have reasons to be big mad right now. Big mad. No. If you know, you know. Big Mac, get a Big Mac. That's too funny. All right, moving on to question number 4 for 3 points. And yes, the order counts for this one. Yes or no, are they classified as animals? Your first one is coral, as in coral reefs. Your next one is sea cucumbers. And lastly, brain-eating amoebas. I named mine Bobby Jr. Like anytime you have a headache, you're like, Bobby, Bobby, come here, Bobby. That was my very bad Hank Hill impression. All right, folks, moving on to question number 5, worth only 1 point. It wasn't just a heartbreaking tweet. What actor has been calling Catherine O'Hara mom since they worked together in 1990? Aww. Aww. And then when you hear the stories of like how his dad treated him and his brother or brothers, ugh, sad. I would think less Hank Hill and more gravel in a blender voice. Gravel in a blender voice. Boy, okay. All right, moving on to question number 6, worth 3 average points, where the order counts once again. For point number 1, Taylor Swift has Best Country Song Grammys for White Horse and what twangy tune? For point 2, what part of the highway do Brits call a central reservation? And for the final point, what magazine did Ugly Betty work for? All right, moving on to your penultimate question on tonight's quiz. Question number 7. After her friend Wild Bill Hickok was murdered in Deadwood, South Dakota, what legendary frontierswoman supposedly chased after the killer wielding a meat cleaver? All right, and question number 8, your final non-bonus question on tonight's quiz for 4 points. Name any 4 of California's 6 most populous cities that don't start with San or Los. Cleaver, we hardly. Y'all too much. All right, that does it for all of our regular questions. We got one more free bonus question. As a traditional for both the summer and winter games, the Parade of Nations at this year's Olympics was led by what country? Well, one more time, as traditional for both the summer and winter winter games, the Parade of Nations at this year's Olympics was led by what country? All right, looks like we got some correct answers coming down the pipeline. So let's get into your answers for the final round of random knowledge. Number 1, a Bialetti and a Permula are brands of mocha pot, a stovetop appliance for making coffee or espresso. For question number 2 for 2 points. The Wayne Brothers parody Step Up, Fame, and Stomp the Yard in 2009's dance flick. And Marlon says they're spoofing Long Legs and Get Out in the upcoming 6th edition of Scary Movie. For question number 3, you can visit this artwork based on the book Make Way for Ducklings in Boston's Public Garden. For question number 4, for 3 points, you told me, are they classified as animals or not? Coral? Yes, they are. Sea cucumbers? Yes, they are. Brain-eating amoebas? No, those are protozoa. Moving on to question number 5. It wasn't just one heartbreaking tweet. The actor that has been calling Catherine O'Hara mom since they worked together in 1990 is Macaulay Culkin. Moving on to question number 6 for 3 average points where the order counted. Taylor Swift has Best Country Song Grammys for White Horse and Mean. Brits call a central reservation on the highway a median. And the magazine that Ugly Betty worked for is Mode. Alright, for question number 7. After her friend Wild Bill Hickok was murdered in Deadwood, South Dakota, the legendary frontierswoman that chased after the killer wielding a meat cleaver is Calamity Jane. And lastly, question number 8, worth 4 points. You told me any 4 of California's 6 most populous cities whose name don't start with San or Los. That'd be Fresno, Sacramento, Long Beach, Oakland, Bakersfield, and Anaheim. Alright, that does it for all of the regular questions. We only got one more coming at you, and that's the answer to the bonus one more time. As is traditional for both the Summer and Winter Games, the Parade of Nations at this year's Olympics was led by Greece. Alright, as always, stay safe, stay healthy, and most of all, don't forget to be awesome. We'll see you until next time. Peace, y'all.